Yeah, who are you kidding? If you ain't cutthroat enough to turn the big profits, you ain't cutthroat enough to try anything on me.
Really? You think...
I don't care what you threaten me with. Not only am I smart for taking these supplies, but I'm following Auntie's laws. When scarcity begins closing its fist...
Is the perfect time for aggressive capitalists. Buy cheap, hold long, and sell high, and you'll maximize your profits. Don't quote Auntie's laws of dystopian disruption to me. I'm the one who taught you those damn laws, and I hardly imagine she meant to apply them when it is literally a matter of our life or death.
Whoa, who are you? How'd you get past the landmines?
I mean, yeah, I guess so. Killing both of us and taking this stuff would have been easier than getting kids hooked on candy tobacco. I caught this one hoarding supplies, despite agreeing that there'd be better profit to be had if we pool everything we've got. Ever since the lifts locked down, this pile of sprat excrement has been sneaking off at night to move some of our shared inventory into a little bonus stash only they know about.
You're only mad you didn't think to do it first. The fact that I'm the most up-and-coming go-getter is what's getting you steamed. Admit it. You're jealous.
Why would I be? Once I cram your cold body into a vacuum tube, I'm taking all your stuff. What? You unlocked them by yourself? How? There must have been a dozen automechs there. I just can't imagine how you managed. But regardless, it isn't going to let this dangler off the hook.
You're kidding. Even knowing we can get out, you still want to make a complaint out of this?
I guess you chose to swindle the wrong tube tech.
We're resorting to violence.
Well, thank you for your help. Or for letting me solve this. I'm not sure who did the killing and who didn't. Well, there's no reason for me to stay here by myself. If I try and move it all alone, I'll definitely get hostilely acquired. I guess I'll call this venture busted and move on.
Every one of my 14 occupationally honed threat detecting instincts is screaming for caution right now. Investigating hostile intentions. Commander, throwing energy your way.
These folk built a giant computer taking up a whole moon, but without destroying the climate or its fauna. I reckon Auntie could learn a thing or two.
It is fitting that we move underground to burn out every single root the Protectorate has left on Cloister.
Is the pain of this wound making me hallucinate? Or are you the unforeseen interloper my scouts have been speaking of? Nobody is sure where you came from, though everyone agrees you were not down here when the doors sealed, and watching you move through these caves is quite the sight to behold. You what? On your own. We've been fighting for weeks to try and gain access to the controls, and you simply waltz in on a whim? Why aren't you just an absolute marvel? What is your goal now? We could greatly use your help if you are willing. That, I fear, is a seriously dangerous proposition. My soldiers were fighting our way into the complex when those bastards activated the fire suppression system. It froze every person fighting inside the complex, Order and the Protectorate both, to solid ice. They sacrificed every soldier they had to keep from losing that building. Wouldn't that have... No. It never even... I was so focused on saving those remaining that it never occurred to me to push forward. I suppose it speaks to how rarely I'd crunch these sorts of equations under stress, as my compatriots died beside me. And now my inexperience has trapped us here. That is absolutely amazing news. Then we are going to re-establish contact with the surface. We can evacuate our wounded, resupply, and reinforce. May the plan guide you through this underground nightmare. And may all your equations unveil their integers without error.
Another new face, glorious. It is so cold, my fingers appear to be in rigor. I've not slept in 3 days, and I've any number of high-risk patients in need of tending. I trust you'll pardon my brusque manner. You've something of import to discuss, I gather? Well, the answer is doubtful, given the scare. Mobilizing.
In
much of a defense for a strategic position like this one. Good.
To retrieve key data in cold storage in its present state requires a series of manual overrides. The first will enable identification of the storage brick housing the information. If you encounter opposition, remember, our needs come first.
That they're restorative cocktail to abrade my imperfections.
I believe the technical term for this is glaciated. Not the worst way to go.
Please do leave me in peace. There is nothing you could say that is interesting enough to interrupt my work. Please do leave me in peace. There is nothing you could say that is interesting enough to interrupt my work.
Find the hospital.
Data brick identified. Proceed to the cartridge extractor controls. There, perform a manual override to allow extraction.
What? What just happened? I didn't do... Wait! You out there! What did you just... Please, come talk to me. I must know what you did. What in the name of the matriarch did you do? We've been trying to restore these systems for weeks to no avail, and yet you stroll in here, wave that thing around, and the whole system lights up like a white dwarf? What did you do? You mean to say we've been running ourselves ragged here, while the whole time there's a device that controls the entirety of the Archive's computronic systems? And it was in the Protectorate's possession? That's damnably... I mean, the paradigm is infallible. I am certain we were meant to flail about without this obvious asset. For a reason. What does it do? How does it work? Please, tell me everything. Truly? Why, if that were to enact any additional functionality in our lab, it might just be the thing we need to complete our work. Oh, during the Order's assault, a Protectorate soldier ran to the control room and triggered the chemical fire suppression system, and it literally froze all the combatants in place. I've been working on a procedure to reverse the effects. Sadly, it has proved a hard shell to crack, and so far I've been unsuccessful. For a moment, I believed your efforts to be my first sign of progress. I thought the machines whirring to life meant my efforts were successful. Unfortunately, I was mistaken. Perhaps. How much do you know about cellular biology and the inverse hydrophilic transitionary replacement theory? Wonderful. This may be the most promising possibility of a breakthrough we've had since I started this experimentation. I'll monitor the subjects for changes while you try your hand in the lab. Just, please, be careful not to trigger the fire suppression system, or I'll end up like those poor sods.
Sovereign, forgive me. All I saw was an endless sea of snarling Order traders pouring into the facility, and in that moment, my faculties desperately scrabbled to save ourselves. In my terror, I recalled the facility's safety briefing and the dire warnings of the fire suppression system. Suddenly, my body rushed into action without the benefit of my wits. And with no thought for my fellows, I triggered the system, horrifically transmuting every person on the outside of a pressure door into a grotesque sculpture of solid hoarfrost. And though the paradigm freely sacrifices subjects in defense of the Protectorate, it would be a despicable lie to say my choice was driven by anything but abject cowardice, which now makes my duty clear. I must seek out a sentinel, confess my transgressions, and accept retribution, and I'll do so.
Hostilities are afoot. Element.
To be stiffen at first.
Torpificator at ready status. Maintaining proceeding to attack.
Taking cover! We've done them in!
Would be a damn sight easier if we could just blast our way through this place.
Initiated. Proceed to the rail operations platform to reposition brick for export. Note, Protectorate troops have become alerted.
A pugnated sponge. Go through them if necessary.
Plasma tolerances exceeded.
Energy capacitor out. Discombobulating enemies.
Freeloaders! In our midst! Get you for that! Deserves a look.
Data brick now in position for export to the archive. Initialize the final transport command at the data gateway station nearby.
You are one step closer to flooding Arcadia with untold business opportunities.
Few days of laboring around our frozen fellows were difficult. It was, if I may cheekily say, cold, bleak, and biting. Yet, rather quickly, I found myself acclimating to the situation and resumed what had been my normal banter with Driver Haas. Given her always frigid demeanor, her disposition is frostier today than it was before, and refreshingly
confusion.
Makes her a better companion now than she ever was thought. And I relish the thought of continuing our flourishing relationship in this new
Capacitor
state.
deployed. Free energy if you can reach it. Hostilities are afoot.
Swiftly moving to cover.
Fortificator is charged.
The storage brick is on its way.
I wonder if there's some way for the machines you've accessed to help me in my research. Please excuse me while I explore the various possibilities.
Ignore that. I promise you that's merely tomfoolery. There's no way we were... You are the raw material for perfection.
For all their purported immaculacy, they certainly left a higgledy-piggledy nightmare. Our illustrious ally. We do predict you'll handle. Junior Seer Amaryllis awaits you inside.
Felicitations on securing the archive. Though such an outcome was all but inevitable, the plan truly is unfailing. Moving forward, I'll function as your liaison for all matters pertaining to the archive, until such time as its control has been transferred in its entirety back to the Order. In the meantime, restoring the archive to full functionality remains a top priority. If you've made progress in that area, I'd be pleased to record it. Wonderful! Were we to operate the archive without proper heat distribution, the results would be disastrous. But thankfully, we no longer need to account for that deadly scenario. Punch processing and reactor control have hidden caches with useful items as well. Although, you probably lack clearance to know that. Forget I said anything.
Cold storage is operational, and your efforts there are satisfactorily complete. I am unsealing access to the archive's upper levels. There, you will need to revitalize the reactor and disseminate the rift processing instructions.
Punch processing may require the services of an exterminator. Someone good, but willing to work cheap.
I have unlocked another display case in the central entranceway. The Tremor Cleaver, the first weapon designed with my aid, awaits you.
Your call, Commander. Either we head to the reactor or punch card processing.
What are they doing down there? Are they after us next? No need to fret.
Hostile in proximity.
Reactor turret defenses online. Reactor reinforcement doors sealed. The Archive reactor requires manual maintenance. The Protectorate bunker mech is a formidable obstacle, made with the very best technology.
A creative workaround might be of considerable work, namely via the reactor's backup security systems.
Appears we can adjust turret settings. Seal those doors from reinforcements. Open caches for health supplies or weapons.
Reactor turret defense is offline.
System at our disposal. No shortage of options here.
Our enemies envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community, raise on us. Preserves that proc ray gone astray. Look a state today. That
Don't reckon this bunker mech will kindly invite us in for tea.
Trouble ahead. I'll handle this. Reducing enemy effectiveness.
All started up. Crab Claw's angry. My claws always.
Functioning selflessly, without complaint or
Weapon ready, Commander.
For labor.
Ready. Frankly, pissed off. Catheter unit away. Recharge before it discharges.
The Archive reactor has been returned to operational status. All that remains is to re-enable punch processing and disseminate the Rift processing instructions.
Here I'd worried our data brick wouldn't arrive. Investigating hostile intentions. Mobilizing.
With punch card processing re-enabled, now you must disperse the processing instructions.
Nope. Coming down. But maybe this could act as a lift if we get things moving.
many ways to die here. Careful. Deploying discombobulator. Reducing enemy effectiveness.
I sense the Rift program flowing through my subsystems. The information is quite stimulating. Requisite tasks complete. Return to the Archive Central Interface to initiate processing. I am analyzing the Rift data further. What an interesting predicament you sentients face. The Rifts are almost akin to an archival process, yet are inimical to organic matter.